All right, so welcome to day 2 of the Trading for Dummies bootcamp. Today, we're going to be going over all the foundational information that you need to know, from understanding what futures contracts are, understanding trading sessions, really all of the things that build the foundation for everything else that we're going to go over the next 2 weeks or so. This is extremely important, so make sure all the information that we go over today, you guys take it, you write it down, and you remember it. Because if you don't have the foundational things, everything else that we teach, it's not going to make any sense at all. But without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so first things first, we need to understand that there are multiple different markets that we can trade in. There's the futures market, there's the Forex market, the stock market, the options market, and the crypto market. Essentially, these are all just different types of trading that we can do. You've probably heard of crypto, you've probably heard of stock, you've probably heard of most of these, honestly, and they all are very similar, especially due to the fact that once you learn one, it's very easy to learn the other. Like, for instance, I started off when I first started off trading crypto and I started trading Forex. But then about 5 years in or 6 years in, I transitioned to trading futures mainly. And doing that transition, it was extremely smooth. It's not like I had to learn a whole bunch of new things. It's just some terminology that's just slightly different. And I'm saying that to say that in this video, we're mostly going to go over futures because that's what I trade most of the time. It's also what I think is the easiest kind of market for new traders to get into and to learn. And then also the skills that you learn trading futures is so easy to integrate into any of these other fields. So we're going to be talking about futures mainly inside of this video. But like I said, you could take that knowledge and go into the Forex market, options market, crypto, stock market, whatever it is. And I've successfully killed every single one of these markets. All right, so as I mentioned, we're mainly going to be talking about futures. So I did want to go over the top 4 main things that most people trade. Now you'll hear me say tickers or instruments. That's simply just the underlying asset that we are trading. But essentially, those are just all tickers. Those are the symbols that we're trading. And here you're going to see contract, which is simply just the full name for all these things. So like NQ is the NASDAQ, ES is the S&P 500, YM is the Dow Jones, GC is gold. These are just the ticker symbols for it, or the abbreviations or smaller versions of it. Now you'll see over here, we have margin. This shows you how much money you need inside of your account to open up one contract. We're going to go over contracts, what that means, what that looks like later on in this video, but just keep this handy and keep this in mind. If you want to open up one NQ contract, you need $1,000 in your account. But you'll see here we have these MNQs, or these micro versions of the original ones. The micro versions are essentially the same thing as the regular ones. They're just cheaper, right? And you'll understand this a little bit later on, but each of these tickers, you'll see we have a micro version of it. So NQ, we have MNQ. ES, there's MES. YM, there's MYM. GC, there's MGC. And you choose what you want to trade, whether the original contract or the micro version. Depending on your skill level, I suggest for most beginners to start on micros of whatever they want to trade, but not just your skill level, also how much you want to risk per trade and how much you have inside of your trading account. But that's what margin is. Then you'll see here tick size. Think of this as the increments of which each of these move in. So like NQ isn't going to go from $100 to $101 to $102. It's going to go from 100 to 100.25 to 100.5 to 100.75 to 101, right? That's the increments that it moves. And it does the same thing with ES here. You see it moves in 0.25 increments. YM is going to move in 1 increments, so it will go from like 100 to 101 to 102 to 103. And then GC will move in 0.1 increments, so it'll go from 100 to 100.1 to 100.2 to 100.3. That is the tick size is the increments of which each price of these tickers moves in. Now you'll see here tick value. This is simply showing you that for every tick movement, that's worth $5. If NQ moves from 100 to 100.5, it moved 2 ticks, right? And each tick value is worth $5. So if it moved 2 ticks, it moved $10. If you open up a buy and it went in profit 2 ticks, you'd be up $10, right? Now you'll see on MNQ, the same thing. If it went up 2 ticks, instead of it being $5 per tick value, it's 50 cents per tick value. So you'd be up $1 if it moved 2 ticks. Now ES, you'll see, is different. Even though the tick size is the same, the tick value is different. So if ES moved from 100 to 100.75, it moved 3 ticks, right? And let's say you bought and it moved 3 ticks, you'd be up
$12.50 times 37.50. You'd be up $37.50 if it moved 3 ticks. That was quick maths. Or was it? I don't know. But you'll see here on MES, each tick value is 1.25. On YM, each tick movement is worth $5. Each tick movement on MYM is 50 cents. And gold, each tick movement is worth $10. And each tick movement on MGC or micro gold is worth $1. So this is a great chart for you to keep in mind, because later on we're going to show you how to manage your risk and things like that. And this is great for you to have to be able to see all that right in front of you. All right, so now that we understand futures contracts, there's something else very important that you need to understand, and that is trading sessions. As you'll see here, there's really three main trading sessions. It's the London session, there's the New York session, and there's the Tokyo session. Now I put here exactly what times those sessions are from, but first you have to understand why we have these trading sessions. So essentially, we as day traders or retail traders, we don't really move the markets. No matter if you open up a trade with $10,000, $100,000, even $1 million, you're not moving the price of anything that you're trading most of the time, right? Unless you're trading like some super, super small cryptocurrency, which most of us are really not. If you're trading any of the tickers we just talked about, NQES, YM, GC, no matter how much of your own money, unless you have billions of dollars, you're not moving the market. The banks are moving the market. And there's different sessions depending on which banks are kind of in control or which banks are actually working. Think of it the same way of like a regular 9 to 5. If you go into your bank right now, it's going to be people working from 8 till 5 p.m. Same thing when it comes to these major traders, these hedge fund traders, just these people that have access to so much money that are actually moving the markets. This is when they're actually trading. So the London session, and this is all in Eastern Standard Time, the London session and when the London traders are trading, it's from 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. New York session is from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tokyo is from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. Now, it's important we understand this because certain sessions are going to have more movement and certain sessions are better to trade if you're trading specific things. All the tickers we just went over, NQ, ES, YM, and GC, they're all going to have the most movement or volume during New York session. Now, the second most volume or most movement session is going to be London session. Then the third is going to be Tokyo session. But if you're trading Forex, which as I mentioned, most of us are going to be trading futures based off this video, or the information I'm going to go over is futures in this video. But if you are trading Forex, there's certain pairs that are moved the most during Tokyo session. Those pairs include like GBP JPY or USD JPY or JPY, USD. So things like that is going to move most of the time in Tokyo session. But for the most part, all the things that we're going to go over in this video, they're all going to have the most volume in this New York session. Now, you're also going to notice something. There's an overlap between New York session and London session because New York session starts at 8 a.m., but London session doesn't end till 12 a.m. And this overlap is when there's the most amount of volume, and oftentimes it's the best time to trade. So from 8 a.m. up until 12 a.m., when both London session and New York session are open, most of the time that's the best time to find trades because price is moving super fast. There's a lot of volume. There's a lot of opportunities. So just keep that in mind. All right, trading sessions is locked in. Next thing you need to understand is that there's multiple types of analysis. Most people think that you just look at the charts and that's how you tell what price is going to do. But that's only half the picture. There's fundamental analysis and there's technical analysis, which is the charts. Fundamental analysis is news. If you did not know, news events heavily affect the markets. If you think back to like when COVID happened, the market absolutely tanked. When you think about when Trump started imposing like the tariffs and stuff, markets absolutely tanked. When you hear that inflation goes down, markets skyrocketed. So all these news events affect the markets. So us as traders, we have to be aware of them. It can also be like smaller things, like if you're trading Tesla stock and on the news, Tesla car blows up or something, right? That's going to affect the price of Tesla, and Tesla is probably going to go down. So you need to be aware of that, and you need to kind of keep your eyes to the ground and or your ears to the ground, whatever that term is, I don't know, to know what's happening on a worldwide scale. In a second, we're going to go over where you find the news and which news events you should pay attention to. But then also there's technical analysis. So technical analysis is kind of what you've probably been used to, where you see all these charts with all these different colors and shapes and things like that. I'm going to clarify all that. It's not as complicated as it seems. But technical analysis is charts and price action. Price action simply is like all those candlesticks or the things that you see on the charts. That's essentially what technical analysis is. So in order to be a good trader, you have to understand fundamental analysis and be aware of it. and you have to understand and be good at technical analysis.
Now, if you didn't know, inside of my inner circle, you actually get to see how I implement all of this information inside of the markets every single day. You get to come and trade live with me every day. You have the opportunity to copy every single trade that I take in real time. You have the ability to ask me any questions because I will coach you one-on-one. Now, if that's interesting for you, I'll leave a link for my inner circle in the description of this video to help you get started implementing all of this information.
All right, so how do we find fundamental analysis? This website is honestly all you need to find the major news events that's going to happen. It has like all the planned news events. Now, I can't give you a crystal ball that tells you if like a Tesla's going to blow up tomorrow or if we're going to have another pandemic or something like that, unfortunately, but you just have to kind of be aware of things that are going on. But this website right here called forexfactory.com will tell you all the major news that is planned to happen, because all these news events will affect the markets. Now, there's a lot of things kind of going on with this screen here. Don't get intimidated. Just focus on this little part right here. And you really only have to focus on the ones that have a red folder and is USD. So you'll see like other ones that's like red folder and CHF, which is other currencies, meaning other countries are having big news events. But if you're trading futures, like we're going to be talking about in this video, mainly all of these news events will do absolutely nothing except for the USD news events that are red folder. And you'll see here it has the date. It'll also have the time when it's coming out. So essentially how I like to look at it is at the beginning of the week or every day before I hop onto the charts or I start looking for trades, I come to this website, I look to see if we have any planned news, and I'll kind of just plan around that. I'll go forward and see if there's any news on the next day or for the week. You can actually go forward to whatever date. So let's say we want to go to Monday. If this thing will ever load, then it would show me. But nonetheless, how I like to trade it essentially is if there's a news event happening at, let's say, 7:30 Central Standard Time, right? Or Eastern Standard Time, right? I personally just won't enter a trade 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after that trade, because with these news events, it can make price spike up crazy or spike down crazy. And depending if I'm in a buy or sell, it could really destroy my trade. So I like to just stay away from it. I don't like to trade the news. There's a lot of traders that will trade the news, but at that point, it's just gambling because we never know what the news will do. And even if, let's say, the news comes out great, sometimes the news will come out great and the markets will still sell. Or sometimes the news will come off bad and the markets will pump. So it's really just, I don't play that game of gambling. I just give myself about 5 minutes before the big news event and 5 minutes after the big news event before I allow myself to actually enter into any trade. As I mentioned, we only care about the news events that are red folder that say USD next to it. Now, that doesn't mean that the yellow folder ones or the orange folder ones won't affect the market. It's just going to be very slight. Like it's not going to do anything crazy. But these big news events that's USD and red, I tend to just stay away from.